By the end of this video, you'll stop feeling overwhelmed by fascism and you'll know exactly what to do in order to avoid the feeling of wallowing and disengagement. This is on purpose. They want you to disengage. Authoritarian movements do not just want your vote, they want your exhaustion, because exhausted people stop paying attention. Exhausted people stop organizing, and exhausted people scroll instead of acting. So instead of spiraling, we're going to use this simple framework. Remember, adapt and joy. Adapt. A, act. D, disrupt. A, align. P, participate. T, together. And then protect your joy, because exhaustion is the strategy used against you. Now let's actually break all of that down. A, act when you're anxious. Overwhelm is the point. Chaos is the point. Flooding your nervous system with constant outrage is the point. So we retrain the response. Anxiety, no longer a clue to scroll. Instead, anxiety becomes a cue to act. One small email, one call, join one organization. There's a number that you should remember, 3.5%. Historically, sustained nonviolent engagement from a small, consistent portion of the population has been massive enough to create social change. You do not need everyone. You need people who refuse to disengage. And in order to do that, D, we have to disrupt the doom. Did you see what happened? Everything's awful. It's hopeless. And then everyone just sits there, marinating in despair, wallowing and enjoying it. Disrupt that politely. I love that you're aware. Do you want to get active with me? Validate, then redirect toward empowerment. Also, disrupt your own doom scrolling. Catch yourself mid-scroll and put your phone down and replace the habit. Out, 1 hour of doom scrolling. In, one real-world action. You have a limited amount of emotional energy every single day, so spend it where it creates impact, not anxiety. Next, A, align your focus. You can't fight everything at once, and that's what burns people out, and that's how movements collapse. We can fight on many fronts, but you should pick one or two where you can actually contribute. Immigration, education, civil rights, local policy, community organizing. Pick your lane and get consistent. Keep going to the meetings. Most organizations meet once a week online, and let's be honest, that time already exists in your life. You're currently spending it doom scrolling and wallowing and talking about it with your friends. End all of that. End the participation in the wallowing with your friends and instead empower them to do one thing a week, because doom gives you fatigue. Next, participate locally. Every time someone says something that's political related, ask them, are you running for local office? How about school board, city council, local commissions, community boards? You don't need to be rich. You need a message, consistency, and the willingness to show up. Or you can go work on someone's campaign. They need smart, bright people like you. The idea that you're not qualified is psychological intimidation, and underqualification has never stopped fascists from applying for positions of power. If running is not your thing, join a local organization, volunteer, organize. Action scales and spectating doesn't. T, together. We're not fighting each other. This part is critical. Horizontal hostility weakens the movement more than opposition sometimes. People love purity testing, canceling, and fragmenting over small disagreements. Meanwhile, more strategic political movements build coalitions, even with people they don't fully agree with. You were not born perfect, not born with perfect language or perfect beliefs. You learned it. And because someone had the patience with you, you should have the patience with others. Persuasion requires patience. Progress requires collaboration. Unity does not mean identical opinions. It means shared direction. If we all spend our energy fighting each other, we hand power to the systems that we claim to oppose. Now, let me say something that might sound harsh, but it is important. Do not wallow. Feeling scared, angry, anxious, valid, human, and normal. Living in that state for hours every single day, paralysis. Wallowing feels like engagement, but it's actually stagnation. Reading the same headlines over and over and over again, having the same draining conversations with your friends, sitting in dread and scrolling outrage loops. That does not build power, it drains it. So stop draining yourself. And the dangerous part is this. Wallowing tricks your brain into thinking that you're doing something because you're emotionally invested. But the emotional drowning is not the same as strategic action. You do not need to be miserable to be aware. You do not need to suffer constantly to care deeply. And you do not help any movement by being permanently exhausted. If you catch yourself spiraling, that's your clue. No more scrolling. No more sitting in dread. That's your cue to adapt. Phone down, breath in, one action, because action metabolizes anxiety. Wallowing multiplies it. Now let's get to joy. Don't skip this part. Joy is not weakness. Joy is recovery. Exhaustion is a political strategy, and burned out people disengage. Disengaged people stop resisting, and tired people stop showing up. Joy resets the nervous system. Joy restores stamina. Joy reminds you of what you're fighting for and not what you're just fighting against. So dance, laugh, create, see your friends, go outside, let your body experience real life so you have the strength to return to work. You are not here to wallow. You are here to endure, to act, to stay engaged for the long game. So remember, adapt, enjoy. Act when anxious, disrupt the doom, align your focus, participate locally, together without fighting each other, and protect your joy, because exhaustion is the strategy and sustained, empowered action is the antidote. I hope this helps.